One of the great things about being a sports fan is being able to witness some of the greatest rivalries in the world. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson changed the NBA's landscape as the two battled for basketball supremacy. The New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox have enjoyed a rivalry that's lasted almost a full century. However, for many different reasons, some of the most heated and passionate sports rivalries come to an end and lose their magic. Both teams begin to suck or they develop new rivals. As it turns out, some rivalries don't last forever. These 10 rivalries will prove our point. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we present to you 10 rivalries in sports that are pretty much dead. Number 10, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. For over a decade, these two battled for just about every major tennis championship. From 2005 to 2010, they owned the top two spots in the world rankings. Nadal beat Federer in 3 Australian Open finals, while Federer beat Nadal in 2 out of their 3 Wimbledon final showdowns. Nadal also took down Federer in all 5 French Open championships. Nadal has taken 23 out of their 34 matchups, but this rivalry's done. Federer is now 35 years old and well past his prime. Nadal at age 30 is still one of the best, but other rising stars have knocked him off the top of the world. As such, this rivalry's best days are long gone. Number 9, Dallas Cowboys and the world. Why does everyone still hate the Cowboys? I mean, come on, they suck now. Jerry Jones, the Darth Vader of the Cowboys empire, doesn't know how to run this team. The ever-despised Tony Romo hasn't come close and probably never will lead the Cowboys to a championship. So Dallas rivalries with Green Bay, Pittsburgh, New York, Washington, and Philadelphia have lost their magic. Dallas hasn't won a Super Bowl in 2 decades. We're just being honest here. All of you can hate on Dallas if you want, but all of these historic and intense rivalries they once had are over. In fact, it seems the team's biggest rivalry is the fans of Dallas, who don't have much faith in the team. Number 8, Vancouver Canucks and Chicago Blackhawks. There was no bigger or better rivalry in hockey than the Canucks and Blackhawks from 2009 to 2013. The two teams met in the playoffs in 2009, 2010, and 2011. All 3 series were full of blood, sweat, and tears, from Alex Burrows pulling Duncan Keith's hair to Dave Bolin throwing dirty hits on the Sedin twins. The hatred between these teams was always alive and well. However, the Canucks basically started to suck badly. Moreover, more of the Hawks' biggest pests, like Bolin and Andrew Ladd, left the team. Ryan Kessler and Roberto Luongo also got traded out of Vancouver. And the Blackhawks became the NHL's model organization. It's pretty hard to sustain a rivalry when you're on the opposite sides of the success spectrum, and when all the guys that kept the rivalry intact switched uniforms. Number 7, Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers. 90% of the Canadian hockey fans will agree with us. Why must these two teams play every Saturday night on Hockey Night in Canada? The Oilers and the Flames combined for 6 Stanley Cups from 1984 to 1990, but both have been afterthoughts in the NHL since the mid-90s. Neither of them have won a cup since then, and they have both struggled to qualify for the playoffs on a consistent basis. To be nice, both teams are very bad most years, and there's not a whole lot of excitement whenever they play. Perhaps the rivalry could be great again one day, but it's been boring for 10 years now. Yet it has to be nationally televised every time they face off. Number 6, Boston Celtics, Los Angeles Lakers. Remember when we were all talking about the Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson rivalry in the 80s? And the Celtics and Lakers also got at it quite often in the 60s, facing off in the NBA Finals a total of 6 times during the decade. No surprise there. After all, we are talking about the 2 most successful franchises in the history of the NBA. This rivalry was renewed when Boston defeated Los Angeles to capture the 2008 NBA championship. They met again in the 2010 Finals, with Kobe Bryant capturing his 5th championship ring. However, both teams have undergone massive rebuilds since. Bryant is gone and the Celtics' big 3 of Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen broke up years ago. We can reminisce on this rivalry all we want, but who knows if it'll ever be enticing again. Number 5, Manchester United, Liverpool. 2 of the most popular and marketed EPL teams worldwide, it's always a huge deal when Manchester United and Liverpool face off. For years and years, these teams were at the top of the EPL standings, but times have changed. Both teams have seen significant changes in management and on their rosters. Though Man U has often been around the top of the league, Liverpool is a colossal failure basically every year. The fan bases for these squads stretch all over our planet, but really, is it even exciting when they play? No. It's just all about bragging rights for the millions that pledge loyalty to one of these teams. Number 4, Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers. This rivalry was only huge from 2012 to 2014. But the thing is, it was so damn exciting that it was considered the top rivalry in the NFL. The Seahawks and 49ers met in the 2013 NFC Championship game, and Richard Sherman's post-game antics escalated the hatred between these two teams. Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll had a long-going coaching rivalry as well that began during their days of coaching against one another in the Pac-12. These teams were powered by loudmouth stars and swagger, but the 49ers let Harbaugh go after the 2014 season and proceeded to be one of the NFL's worst teams. Meanwhile, the Seahawks still dominate, but yeah, the 49ers can't give them a fight anymore. Nothing to see here. Number 3, New England Patriots, Indianapolis Colts. This was the NFL's strongest rivalry for a decade thanks to a pair of men, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Once Manning joined the Denver Broncos in 2012, the Colts-Pats rivalry remained intact. The Colts and the Patriots faced off in the 2013 and 2014 playoffs, but every postseason meeting in the Andrew Luck era has been a Patriots blowout. Yes, Deflategate added some fuel to the rivalry, but it's totally one-sided and overhyped. Maybe Luck and Brady's successor can renew it, but this rivalry lost its magic once Manning left. Number 2, Montreal Canadiens, Toronto Maple Leafs. The Canadiens have 24 Stanley Cups, the most out of all NHL teams. The Maple Leafs have the second most with 13. So yes, they went at each other's throats from the 1920s to the 60s. After that, the Leafs sucked for years, and Montreal continued to be one of the league's most dominant teams. However, neither team has been a powerhouse for over a decade, really. Hockey Night in Canada hypes up their rivalry every time by televising the matchup nationally. But just because they have the biggest fan bases in Canada, it doesn't mean this rivalry is exciting. It's very boring to say the least. Until they're both elite teams again, we'll have no reason to ever get excited about this matchup. And number 1, New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox. Well, this was fun for decades. Everyone knows that the infamous Babe Ruth trade led to the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry, becoming the most iconic in sports. However, we are in an era where there's no spark in this battle of two MLB historic powerhouses. For years, both teams bought all of the superstars in an effort to outdo one another. They combined for 4 World Series titles in the 2000s and combined to win the AL East every year from 1998 to 2007. But we haven't seen these teams meet in the playoffs since 2004. They haven't qualified for October Ball in the same season since 2009. Both teams have had some disappointing seasons as the heavy spending ways stopped working. With basically everyone gone from the rivalry glory days during the 2000s, this rivalry won't be heated again for a long time. For the time being, it's totally lost its value. Which rivalry do you love most? Join us in the comments below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.